Hello friends. So in this video we are going to talk about one of the very important tag in Salesforce or in Aura components, basically, that is lightning unsaved tag, unsaved changes. Okay, so you must have seen many times a scenario where you have a user who is entering some data in the form, and by mistake he clicks on some other tab, or he by mistake clicks on the back link of the browser, and then he loses all his data. And then when he comes back to that page again, he needs to fill the form again, which is very much irritating, and it's not that much good user experience. So to overcome these types of scenarios, Salesforce has provided unsaved changes tag in the Aura components. So let's say I'll take a scenario. Let's say a I have a text box where I need to give the account name, and I need to click on save account to create an account in backend. Okay, so let's say I gave some value into it, and by mistake I clicked on summaries. So you can see that since I have done that by mistake, or I have clicked on the summaries tab, there's a pop-up came up which states that whether basically you have an uncommitted or unsaved change in the system. So whether you want to proceed ahead or whether you want to stay on the same page and continue the things. Okay, and here you get three buttons, that is continue editing, discard changes, and save. So if I click on continue editing, I will be the pop-up will be gone, and I'll be moved back to the same page where I can continue my changes, and I can then save to create an account. Next is discard changes. So if I click on discard changes, it will discard all the changes I have done or whatever the inputs I have given, and it will take me to the tab or to the URL where I have clicked. Okay. And last is your save button. So this is something where when I click on the save button, I will be seeing so basically all my data will be saved in backend, and then I will be navigated to the other tab. Okay. So how we can achieve this functionality basically in Aura components. So for that, let's say I have this custom component which you are seeing on the screen, where I have an attribute called account name, which is which I am showing as an input, and I have a button called save account. Now you notice that I have a tag here called unsaved changes. Okay, so unsaved changes is the tag which will be a savior for you here. Okay, so I am giving an Aura ID as unsaved, and this tag comes with two particular methods, that is on save and on discard. Okay, so let's say now we'll go into the code as well, we'll see how these things are happening. So I have a change handler on the input text. Basically, whenever someone will start entering the text value into the text box, my change handler will get called. And in the change handler, what I am doing is I am setting an unsaved changes method as true. So this will tell the browser that, or basically to the system, that there is an unsaved change in the system. Okay. So for that, what you need to do is you need to use component.find, and by using Aura ID, you can get the unsaved attribute, and then in that you have a method called unsaved changes, save unset unsaved changes. In the initial, you will keep either true or false. It's a boolean which will tell the browser whether there is an unsaved change present in the system or not. Okay, so here I'm giving it as true, and then you have another option to provide a label. So basically your second option will be a object. In object you have many attributes and many variables. One of them is label. Okay, so let's say I have given some label here that you have not saved account. So this is a custom label which I gave, and on the UI in the pop-up you can see that my value, or the value which I have provided in the label, has come up on the pop-up in the header. Okay, so now since I started typing into the text box and I set the unsaved changes as true. Now if by default someone clicks on the some other tab, your pop-up will come up. Okay, but let's say if you don't want to show that pop-up, like after you click on save account, the pop-up should not come because your processing is done, right? In that case, again what you need to do is you need to set the unsaved changes as false. Okay, so once you do this unsaved changes as false, then it will indicate the browser that there is no unsaved changes in the system, and user are good to go to any other URL. Okay, So this is the way of using say unsaved changes attribute in your Aura component so that user will not lose any data while by mistake he clicks on any other tab, or he basically navigates away from that particular page. Okay, so this is one of the useful tag. And one more important thing to note here, this pop-up is out of the box pop-up. So if you think of changing these text or these buttons or adding a new buttons into it, this is not possible because there's an out of the box feature. You can only set the labels here. Okay, similarly, this particular event change, it doesn't work in LWC because LWC doesn't provide you this unsaved changes. So this is only for Aura components currently, and this doesn't work in LWC as well as in the communities. Okay, so in communities, if you want to do the similar logic, then you need to look into the out basic JavaScript modules like on unload or on before unload like that. Okay, so I hope this gave you an overview of how you can use unsaved changes and make your page more user friendly and uh, to avoid any kind of data loss. So I hope you like this video and keep having a look on the channel. Please subscribe and thank you for your time.